Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Jaden, and in this video I'm gonna be reacting to ATEEZ's most recent mini album, that being Treasure Epilogue Action to Answer. I believe that's the name of it. I just call it Answer because it's so much simpler. But anyway, I'm gonna be checking out three of the songs from the mini album because otherwise one of them is the title track, which I have reacted to, and there's the I think outro or something, but I couldn't find it on YouTube in a decent video and audio quality, so I'm just doing these three, those being Horizon, Precious, and Star 1117. I've heard that Horizon is actually the better song than Answer, and I'm actually most excited about that one because while I like Answer for what it is, it's more of the kind of song that is like, it's very similar to Utopia. It reminds me a lot of it, and in general it's more similar to ATEEZ's B-sides rather than their title tracks. And like, I still like the B-sides, but I prefer what their title tracks are usually much more. I prefer the bigger focus on rapping and performance in the title tracks rather than the vocals. But still, I like it, and I definitely like it more now that I have listened to it the last few days. Anyway, let's get into the reaction, starting with Horizon in 3, 2, 1. Okay, interesting instrumental. Yeah, I can see why people said that this is more similar to their other title tracks. In general, why it's better. I agree. I definitely really like this one. Also, it's kind of funny to me how, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but a lot of their songs have genuinely pirate rhythm to them. Like, which song it was? I think it was Wonderland. There was some YouTube channel which does K-pop songs in a different language. And when they sung it, I think it's Spanish or Italian, it genuinely sounded like a pirate song. Also, I'm gonna be reacting to this song a second time. Yeah, honestly, I think this should have been the title track. If they wanted to stay in line with what the rest of the title tracks are. Because I still like Utopia and Answer too, but I prefer something like this more. I wonder if I'm gonna like the rest of the songs of the mini album though, because usually for ATEEZ I like the title track and one other song, but the rest don't really ever listen to them because they're a bit too forgettable for me. So I wonder if it's gonna be the same for this album, because we already have Answer, which I kind of like, definitely more than how much I liked it during my reaction. Okay, So let's listen to it one more time in 3, 2, 1. I really like, I don't know who's doing that voice in the background, but it's really cool. I love it. Oh man, I love Sun and Jungkook's voices. And I don't know if the pictures used in this video are from this comeback, but again, Wooyoung looks so much like Jimin. Like the bottom part of his face looks so much like Jimin. He looked a lot like Jimin in the Say My Name music video. Also, I gotta say, this song feels much longer than it actually is. I assume ATEEZ went with Answer for a title track, maybe because they wanted to differentiate from the rest of the title tracks, maybe they wanted to try something different, and also because Utopia was a pretty popular song, so popular they actually made it into the Japanese title track. So I guess that's why they went with that kind of song for this comeback. That's at least my theory. I don't mind it either way, as long as they keep making hype tracks, because currently they're together with Stray Kids, are my top 2 boy groups. NCT too, but they haven't really released a good song since like the beginning of 2019. Okay, so I don't remember how I rated ATEEZ's Answer, so if I end up rating these songs higher or lower, I'm sorry, but I don't remember. So this song I'm going to give right off the bat 9.5 out of 10, maybe even going to a 9.8 out of 10, because I definitely instantly enjoyed much more than Answer. Because when I listened to Answer, even in my reaction, you can see that I was a bit disappointed. Not necessarily because the song is bad though, more because I expected something from the song and it didn't deliver on what I expected, and that is my fault for expecting something. That's the thing, you shouldn't really have any expectations for a song, because you are always going to get disappointed in one way or another. That's why I kind of prefer not really listening to teasers or anything about songs, just getting into it right off the bat without any spoilers or anything. So I just get the first impression, because if you go back to BTS's Idol, for example, the teaser sounds nothing like the song, and at first I didn't like it. Like, I was a bit disappointed that it didn't sound anything like it, but I still ended up enjoying it a lot. But it was very incoherent. But yeah. But this one, I instantly love it. Like, it instantly clicks with me in the same way the rest of ATEEZ's title track do. So I definitely, right off the bat, like it more than Answer, even though I really like Answer for what it is. I've been able to listen to it for the last few days, and it's a more kind of cinematic kind of song. Like, it's more of a, as I mentioned in my reaction, it's more of like the blood, sweat and tears for ATEEZ. Like, it's more of a cinematic art like kind of song. Like, hopefully you get what I mean. Meanwhile, this is more the party song, which is what usually ATEEZ songs are, and I love that fact. Objectively, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because I do like it much more, but in some ways it doesn't feel as finished as Answer, because Answer is, I'd say, completely perfect. Like, I can't really nitpick even anything that I can complain about the song is only would be from my personal opinion. While for this song, it does feel slightly unfinished in some way, and I feel like the vocals didn't get to shine equally as much as the rapping, which personally, as more of a fan of rapping, I don't mind that fact, but I can see how some people might not like that. But still, it was a good song no matter what, and I'm happy that I wasn't disappointed, especially because I've heard that it was supposedly better than Answer, and I agree it is in some ways. So let's move on to the next song, that being Precious, in 3, 2, 1. That sounds a bit like Treasure. Okay. Damn, this album, I think I might fall in love with it. Okay, I genuinely started to think that ATEEZ are the next BTS. Like, for a while for me, BTS were the only group for which I can actually enjoy the B-sides as well. Almost every single song of BTS I love, excluding the most recent one, but that is a topic for another time. I have a question though. Are these songs like a callback to their older songs? Because I feel Horizon had some samples from Wonderland, while this song has some samples from Treasure, and it has some similarities to it. Because if it is, that's pretty cool actually. I'd say that is how you do a callback to an era. And again, I'm starting to hate myself for constantly bringing up BTS, but supposedly BTS's Map of the Soul persona was a callback to their first era of music in some way. Somehow, despite the fact that it was completely different from that era, so I don't know what that was about. But still, their intros were actually calling back to that era. Like, these two songs in some ways could feel like sequels to Wonderland and Treasures. I forgot what was, respectively. And yeah, I think I'm gonna listen to all of them a second time. I don't know if you could relate to what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Oh yeah, this is definitely a callback to Treasure. But that part right here, which was with like the kind of sped up sound, like you know what I'm talking about, you just listen to it. That kind of sound, like, I kind of hate when songs do that, because like in a certain way it makes me feel like I'm fucking high or something. Like, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it's just how it makes me feel. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just how it makes me feel. Hopefully you understand what I mean. Maybe you have listened to other songs like that, but it's just so weird. It makes you feel like you're hallucinating in a way. I don't know. Okay, let's listen to it one more time. This time I'm gonna pay more attention to it. So let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. I actually really like the beginning right here, but somewhere it kind of loses it a little. Specifically in that part that I just talked about, where it kind of makes me feel like I'm high. Yeah, there is obvious drop in quality compared to like Horizon and the title track. It's not major one, but that's kind of usually how it goes for any group anyway. The B-sides are never as good as the title track. And as I said, for ATEEZ, usually there are 2 songs, the title track and an additional song, that are really good. But I'd say I might like this album the most because I have listened to, I think, the first and their second album. And from those 2 albums, I don't really like any of the songs except like the title tracks, and like from those 2 albums I like what was it? Pirate King, Treasure, Hala Hala, and Say My Name. Those are the 4 songs that I like from the first 2 albums, mini albums. This part here, it's not bad, and it could be like a good song to listen to in a club or something, but like when I'm listening to it on my own, it kind of makes like, I feel like songs that do this just didn't know what else to do in the song, just did this as a kind of a filler. I don't know. I just don't like that part. It's not satisfying to listen to. It's actually kind of a cliche because it has been done in music so many times. Okay, I know I ended up ranting a little bit more and didn't really concentrate as much. Sorry about that. This song I do not like as much as Horizon. Personally, I'm gonna give it a 7.6 out of 10. It still wasn't bad, and I like the fact that it's calling back to their earlier songs, which is cool. And and it definitely feels like an ATEEZ song, but and there are elements of it that I like. The beginning is actually really cool, but when it gets to the end, I don't know, it just kind of loses it in a way, so I do not like that fact. Objectively, I'm gonna put it at about the same actually. Maybe I could give it a 7.9 out of 10, but I don't think it crosses the 8 line. But yeah, that's how I feel about this one, so let's move on to the final song of this video, that being Star 1117. I don't know if it's 1117 or 1117, but anyway, let's get into it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the rule of ATEEZ is correct. I only like 2 songs from each album, which is still better than most groups where it's usually only the title track. This is my first ATEEZ ballad, by the way. I don't know if they've done other ballads, but this is definitely my first one. I probably won't be reacting to it a second time. I mean, it's still not a bad song, but it's definitely not what I love listening to from ATEEZ. But I think the people who complain about ATEEZ being too hyped, because there have been actually quite a lot of people on the Our Unpopular K-pop Opinions subreddit who have complained that ATEEZ are too hype or whatever. Same people have complained about Stray Kids music being not being really good because it's produced by the members, not by professionals, and have complained about NCT's noise music, so I really hate those kind of people. Yeah, I am a bit biased against this song just because in general I'm not a fan of ballads. They're not as enjoyable to me. I recognize that they're good, but they're just not enjoyable to me. Maybe I'll listen to it again, but I don't know. I'd say it's objectively better than Precious. I'm gonna give it that. I don't mind the fact that this album seems to be a bit more vocal focused. I mean, I don't really have a point of comparison because I don't exactly remember the rest of their albums, because I've listened to them like once. But this seems to be a bit more vocal focused, and I just hope that doesn't mean that they're gonna change their title tracks too much. Because after BTS, I don't know if I can take another group doing the same thing and disappointing me like that. Because I've already been really, I don't want to say hateful, but maybe you could say that. I've been really angry with some changes with some groups, like right before Monsta X's most recent comeback, they released a music video with a ballad, and I thought that was the actual music video for their comeback, and actually got really angry because I thought another group who actually did music that I liked decided to sell out or anything like that and just stop doing that music for the sake of getting more popular, I assume, because it worked out for BTS, I guess. And I was really angry. And I think there were a bunch of other groups like NCT's Superhuman was a bit more, or should I say a bit less experimental, so I was angry on that too. That it wasn't as experimental as Cherry Bomb or Simon Says or Wakey, because I fucking love those songs. I still fucking love those songs. But yeah, for this song, as I said, I don't think it's bad. I'd say it's objectively good, but it's just not my thing, and I don't know if I'll listen to it again. Maybe if I stumble upon it, I don't know. I genuinely don't know, because I kind of like it, but it's just not the kind of song you would listen to constantly. It's just like a song that you would listen to maybe when you're sad, and usually I listen to these kinds of songs when I am sad. But I kind of haven't felt as depressed ever since I started my YouTube channel, so yeah, that's one good thing to come out of doing this YouTube channel. Personally, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because I do think it's pretty much objectively about in that position, but I also decently enjoyed it, and I might have actually liked it. And I don't really think there's anything bad with the song. Like, I can't really even nitpick anything. Like, the rapping actually doesn't feel out of place in the song. Although I only noticed Honjung's rapping, I don't know if the other rapper who I should learn the name of. I should in general learn the names of ATEEZ. I've kind of learned some, not all of them. I'm still just need to get used to them. But I only noticed Honjung, and his rapping didn't feel out of place, which I was kind of surprised about. But yeah, in general, just was a good song, so I'm satisfied. Objectively, again, as I said, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because I feel like it's about there. I could give it a 10 out of 10, but I don't know, I'm trying to kind of hold back my ratings more, because if I give every song a 10 out of 10, it just doesn't. What's the point of having like 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s if I give everything a 10? But yeah, that's how I feel about this mini album. I wish I had more of a point of comparison for the other albums, and maybe I could check them out even though I've listened to them before, but anything other than the title tracks and like one additional song, I don't really remember anything of them, so I could do that if you want me to, because otherwise I probably won't do it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Also check out the rest of the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you do enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos and you want to support me and support the channel, you can do so by going over on Patreon or Subscribestar, links to which are in the description. Any amount helps keep the channel going, but still, if you don't want to do that, you can still help me out by other ways, like liking this video, subscribing, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think that's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!